everyone. Welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot and Astrology. I'm Denise, and I wanted to read on Ron DeSantis. I got a notification from, well, I get lots, but this one from the Washington Post has to do with a $92 million that he directed towards some type of a road, like a highway project that directly benefits his one of his donors, one of his top donors. But it was funds that came from a COVID relief project. So I'm going to look and see if he'll be, whether or not he might be or will be investigated for this. And if so, you know, if the cards show that it would be so, then what will be his future based on that? Because, man, this little guy with his white go-go boots is certainly getting away with way too much. And, of course, he changed the law that dictated prior to. There was a law in place saying that if you run for president, you have to give up your position as governor. He went and changed that law. So he's just like this little Hitler of Florida. My heart goes out to anyone, everyone who lives in Florida. Because this is not good. All of these things that he's been doing is just horrendous. So anyway, let me get off my little here. Swap out cameras and get this going. Hold on. Okay, so no more Let me just tune in. You can see I'm using Ciro Marchetti's End of the Century Kipper. And I tend to use it for all things legal because it's perfect. Especially knowing these guys are just a bunch of reincarnated old slave masters from the who knows how far back. This guy's definitely a dumber version of Hitler. Then again, maybe, I mean, what do I know? He's not very bright, that's for sure. It's literally, you know, ignorance in action is what this guy is. So anyway, let's let go of that. Let me let go of all my bias. I only want the truth. Thank you. Thank you, all my guides, for the truth. Thank you for the forces of love, which is also truth, coming through me. Guide me to the right cards. Let's get them lined up. Show me Ron DeSantis' future. What is his legal future? Legal and political future. Oh, right there, okay. Okay, so his karma, and thank you so much to Jeffrey Thompson, I think is his last name, that told me that's what that card means. He's very intuitive, and I really appreciate that hit that he got. I can't remember who I was reading on when he first came through. Okay, so here's this. So this is Ron. Okay. Though this is probably the wealthy donor dude. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Start with an H. Wasn't Hassan, but it was something like that. Okay. Oh, political issues there. Developing for a long time. Yeah, we've got some DOJ action coming in here. You know what, and it could be, well, let's see what other cards come through. But it could be, because remember all the migrant, he used the interest money off of the COVID relief funds that were provided for the state, and used that to, well, that was just one of the things he did. I think he withheld the money, actually. Yeah, travel, there we go. And he used the how was it, 12 million or something? And he used that to send these Venezuelan migrants, you know, to Martha's Vineyard and all over the place. Anyway, so I'm going to start here because he appeared. Surprised that his wife didn't come through. But anyway, let's see what's at the other end if I were to flip it off there. Yeah, there we go, the travel and strategies. Oh, yeah. Oops, travel, strategies, and very painful loss. Very painful ending. Because he's a cheater. He's a major cheater. Yeah. And all that teamwork. It just to get as much cash as he could. But anyway, I was reading with Lisa and Annette yesterday, and someone asked the question about, well, we were diving into Ron DeSantis, and someone asked about his wife, Casey. And boy, I got some really awful cards about her. So I guess watch that live stream if you want from July 8th. And it has timestamps in it. Just go to the first comment. Then Hilda gives us a awesome timestamps in there. I love it. I love her. Okay. Ronnie here. He's up at the top with he has some control. I'd rather see him down here at the bottom, but he has some control for the time being. And to have the mature man and the wealthy man on both sides of him, I'm feeling like this is the wealthy donor, actually. And this would be the someone from the DOJ or someone from the Treasury Department, because I know there was an investigation going into this guy already in the past for using that COVID relief money that all the states got because of what was that, the American Rescue Plan. Yeah. So these cards are sneaking up behind his back. So DOJ bringing charges, or Treasury Department, which the DOJ has jurisdiction over all of that. Pretty sure they're at the top of everything. You could look for the org chart on that. That's pretty interesting. But anyway, with a courthouse card, this is somebody pressing charges and probably a long judicial process. And I say that because this card here can be quite some time. So it's what he's heading into, but it could take a couple of years for this to really, meet him. But then again, he's headed towards it, and it has been developing. And this would be, his karma to just, and his clannish behavior. This is a card of clannish behavior, to fill his own coffers and to get money, from these wealthy donors, young and old, anyone who would help him. Now, this could also be the attorneys, because it doesn't have to be one person. All of the attorneys that work for the Treasury Department, and then so I think what's going to come out. Actually, let me go with the four corners first. His reputation is of someone who is as a child. As there's something new that's going to come out, but he's also known for being a child, and he's got this terrible karma as to taking advantage of people who have to, work for a living. I mean, he's just, this would be the migrant farm workers that could bring, harvest food for the state of Florida. This could be everything that has to do with security. And there will be some judicial process coming down on him eventually. This is also a card of making, because you see the paperwork here. It's like imagine this is Jack Smith but Jack Smith is here. Or it could just be the political process in this situation. But what we've got is some discovery coming through. that took quite a long time to develop. And this is sneaking up behind his back. These two cards, he doesn't see it coming. And there's proof. There is documents. There are recordings, audio recordings, whatever. There is everything that the DOJ or the Treasury Department needs in order to bring it through. And I don't know who this younger woman is. Wouldn't be his wife. The wife would be the main woman, and she didn't come through. But maybe this is male and female. Maybe these two are male and female attorneys who are working for and under the jurisdiction of Treasury Department. I don't know, maybe some kind of like Inspector General. Yeah, and whomever these men, I would have to say men and women who have worked really hard to get all of the details and all of the documentation as to, and this is also sneaking up behind him, how he has worked for, quid pro quo type of, the means. And then here he is in charge of how people came and went from the state, and that will be, there's discovery about that too. I think he might be in trouble for a lot of things, and it may grow over time. Okay, so, but opening up the reading, I'm probably going to be, this will be a little bit redundant, but his karma as like a clan member type of a dude, just trying to fill his own coffers. He's been doing it for a long, long, long time. It's like him and, what's his name, Rick Scott. They're just two peas in a pod. Yeah. And then he has a whole community of people who are also being watched. And I'm thinking that over the next few months, something comes out. Notice the cards at night to him. He's behind some type of a political process that has rules and regulations to it. But, he's famous for changing the rules. But he also has some obligations that are federal that don't have anything to do with just, the state of California, which he thinks he's the little dictator of. So, and then this card here, Knights, to his card, and this is him in control of the thievery. All right? Like this is my card for like energy vampires, and people are really negative. But then again, this is him and his irresponsibility, and there's a loss because of it, and it will be developing over time. I don't see him winning elections here over this. That's for darn sure. Now this diagonal line here has him with his loyal supporters, and there's a lot of them, loyal supporters in Florida. I don't think that they're voting people. I think that they're wealthy people. And again, him and the gifts that have been given to him because of their loyalty, because he's basically their lapdog, their, And then look at this diagonal line here. He has this karma to just be leveled and go through a period of this political process, or I'm sorry, the rules and regulations that, well, it is political, but it's also the rules and regulations of the federal Constitution. There are certain things that they're not allowed to get away with, but, it's going to take time. This card is going to, that up there is a long time. But yeah, the gifts. Because look at this card down here that knights up here to him, or I'm sorry, it's not a knighting, it's a diagonal line. This card here, and the diagonal line here points up to him and his gifts. That's going to level him at some point. This card in the center, I'm going to go through the knighting process with this card. So our Lovers card does not have to be lovers, but it can be a love relationship. And, you know, we do have this young lady here, but she's more of, you know, like the creative. This is a person who can create wealth in his life. I do remember yesterday it looking like he and his wife would go through a divorce. So, but I really just wanted to focus on his legal situation. I kind of, you know, I mean, the other stuff's a little interesting, but yeah. But she may go down herself too. That's the thing. So, anyway, from this card here, it doesn't have to be lovers, but it can be. More so, I could always say it's somebody who's just loyal, and they're focused in on the same things, where they want the same things. So this would be his clan in Florida. This could be the governor's mansion in Florida, where he has his loyal support, and people, especially men who are, well, men and women who are ambitious to make changes, and they go in and out of the governor's mansion and visit, and there is partnership. On another level, this could be a down patch for his marriage as well, because she's not going to want to hang out with a loser, you know, because that's what she's like. What's her name? Casey, I guess. So anyway, legally though, for this guy, he's got a very karmic judicial process coming down the pike for him, and there are very ambitious people that are trying to check into all the assets that he has like taken in to the governor's mansion. There's favors or something is what I'm getting here, but between the change going in and out, the money here and the gifts here, there's something that has gone in and out of the governor's mansion or brought into the governor's mansion for him over a long period of time, and somebody knows all about that. And this is somebody who's been very supportive to him. So I think it could be more than one person who has given money to him, and because these cards knight together, these two and these two. But there's a paper trail on it somehow. There's like the breadcrumbs to follow, the quid pro quo. Yeah, and he's looking, it's going to all come out. They will be exposed is what I'm getting here. So, and then this line here, there's new, so I'm bookending here, mirroring. There's some new documents or audio recordings that can level this guy because of the fact that he has received monies that he shouldn't have. Favors, monies, perks. And there's I think a community, this could be, so normally this is my J6 committee card, but that doesn't have anything to do with this one. So this could be the whole Treasury Department, because look how these cards knight together to the courthouse. The whole Treasury Department and their understanding, like the creative finance and what he's been doing to get the money in to be able to run for president. And so there's something going on there as well. Like that's coming in. That'll level him. And they're finding out who these people are, like I said before. See, that's the thing, when you start mirroring in, and usually you'll get some of the same messages repeated over. So the bottom line here shows that his reputation as someone who's does a lot of creative finance and just wants to partner up with people who'll bring in the change for him, and it's all about money. He's just a big old vampire here, and he just kind of, what I'm getting is he doesn't really work. He just hangs out in the governor's mansion and does whatever he wants, and he just sucks off the state of Florida and just sits back and waits. But this is a card of surveillance, and it is coming down from this diagonal here from the DOJ and the Treasury Department, any oversight office, any Inspector General office, and it also is down here at this focal point, this diagonal, of things that they've been watching for a long time, and they're still surveilling. And it's not just him, it's the people who have donated this way. Interesting. Okay, well, that's all I'm seeing. If you guys are seeing more, feel free to drop it in the comments. And, of course, I know that there are so many of you who know tons more information about him that have been keeping track of things and can also offer some wisdom here, some insight. Okay, take care, you guys. Hope you've been having a wonderful weekend. Bye.